Welcome to Empowered by Iron, the podcast for female strength athletes by female strength athletes. We're your hosts, Kristen Lander from Fiercely Fueled Nutrition Coaching and Mary Morton, PhD candidate. All right, guys, this week we're going to talk a little bit about when there's things in life that are not going as you expect them to go or as you want them to go, and you have to make some tough decisions. And being proactive is far better than being reactive, though it's a lot harder. It's harder to be an adult in these situations, but it's important because you want to make decisions as opposed to having decisions made for you. So we've got some good examples today of some things that have come up
recently in our lives.
Right. But and this can be something in, your training life or your home life or your work life. Maybe things aren't going well at work and you need to make a decision and find a different job, or maybe you're not
getting along with your coworker and you need to choose how you take your next steps. Do you become more reactive and say something to them that's snarky that could get you fired, or do you do something proactive, like maybe speaking to your boss about something or trying to come up with middle grounds or whatever, but proactive versus reactive?
Right. And I think that it's important in situations where there's conflict to always assume that everyone's heart is in the right place and to give people the benefit of the doubt, and assume that, if they're saying some things that kind of conflict with what you think or what you believe or what you need, that they're not out to get you. I mean, they might be.
But if you assume that everyone's out to get you, you're going to drive yourself nuts.
Right, and you're going to be reactive in every situation instead of being proactive and thinking, okay, what can I do to make this situation better?
Yeah, like 9 times out of 10, no one even takes a second thought as to how their actions might affect you, and just by happenstance that they do affect you, it's not because they wanted it to affect you. It just happened to affect you.
Right. So,
however.
Hashtag however. So we have had some things come up in our lives that we really wanted to talk to you guys about, because it's kind of like it's been a roller coaster for us, and we've been quiet about it.
Yeah.
But
ironically not quiet about it.
But right. So we had something come up at our gym. You guys know that we don't train at like a weightlifting or powerlifting facility. We train at this cool local gym that's like a really big mix of everyone.
Everything. You got powerlifters, bodybuilders, people who just come in for cardio. You've got us, the weightlifters. Like, we have
people that do CrossFit. There's people that do CrossFit there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of elderly people that like to come and just hop on the cardio equipment because it's South Carolina and it's too damn hot to be walking or running outside sometimes.
Oh my God. So it's a good mix of different types of fitness levels and fitness interests, I would say.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we've been a big part of the community there for a year and a half, and recently members have been complaining about the noise we're making, which is funny because if you listen to like a podcast 1 or 2 episodes ago, we talked about like yelling and being angry lifters, and we declared that neither one of us do that. So it's not that we're yelling, it's that we are doing weightlifting, and when you do weightlifting, you have to drop weight from the top most of the time, not always, but most of the time.
Yeah.
It's the safest way to do it. If you're not a weightlifter and you don't know that, that's why we do that.
Mm-hmm. It's like why you don't slowly put down a deadlift. I mean, you follow the deadlift down, but you're not like slowly trying to bring
because
down.
It's heavy as shit.
Right, and you might break your back.
And you might hurt yourself. Exactly. So anyway, recently the gym owners have been getting complaints about us dropping the weights, and we've been working towards a resolution for several months on this and trying to do some things that might help make everyone happy. But in the end, it's how do you say, well, just don't drop the weights? Like, you can't really do that. And the gym owners are put into this weird situation where they want to make everyone happy. They have people complaining and people quitting because of us, which makes us really sad.
Yeah.
Especially especially because we understand local businesses and we understand small businesses, and we just don't want people to be losing business because of us. That's a horrible feeling.
We don't like, Kristen and I are both rule followers, and we really don't like knowing that we're breaking rules or upsetting people in any way. So
Right.
It was more in the past couple weeks, it's been like, okay, are you going to the gym now? Are you training now? That way we weren't alone. And it's never been like that before.
Yeah, it started to get uncomfortable for us to train because we knew people were getting mad. We knew people were getting complaining about us, and it just felt kind of bad. It just didn't feel good to be there, which is really sad because it's one of our favorite places. So we ultimately decided to take a proactive approach so that our training wouldn't be jeopardized and that we could keep a good relationship with the gym owners. And the only solution, after going back and forth for months on this, the solution we kept coming to is we're going to have to take the loud stuff.
So on the 13th of July, we live in South Carolina. We drove all the way up to North Carolina, and we went up to Carolina Strength Equipment.
Fitness Equipment.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Fitness Equipment.
Carolina Fitness Equipment.
Carolina Fitness Equipment up in North Carolina, and we met with one of their sales reps, Chris Gully. And let me tell you, if you guys are ever in the area, if you need any sort of fitness equipment and you're within drive's distance of Carolina Fitness Equipment, like, you need to go there and specifically hit up Chris. He was the best sales rep I've ever spoken to. I didn't feel pressured. He helped us out in so many ways.
He did.
He really, he got us in the right spot. So we got plates when we were there.
We picked up some kilo plates. Woohoo!
We picked up some kilo bumper plates. Then we drove down back to South Carolina, and we stopped. We picked up some squat stands.
Yep.
And hopefully some mats today or tomorrow, and brought it all home.
Yep.
And our friend's dad's best friend of a friend of a friend, has basically an empty building.
It's going to be a place to train, and it's going to be dirty, and there's not electricity right now, and it's going to be hot. But we have a place to train that's going to be awesome, because...
I mean, it'll be pretty bare.
Yeah, bare bones.
Bare bones barbell.
Woohoo! Yeah. And so that's what we're going to do. We are taking the loud stuff. We'll still be involved at the gym that we currently go to.
We still have to do accessory work, bicep curls.
Yeah, we're so bare bones. We don't, didn't pick up any extra equipment. So we've literally just got barbells and bumper plates. We just have the loud
stuff. Yeah.
We have the loud stuff.
Only the loud stuff.
So that we'll be training there. And ultimately, it was one of those decisions. It's like, this is starting to really negatively affect our training. This is starting to really negatively affect our relationship with the owners and the management of the gym. And obviously not great for community building if we're pissing off other members that are there.
Right.
So it's like, it kind of sucks, yet it's really exciting for us because we'll just be able to be somewhere where we can do whatever we want and not have to worry about how it affects other people, which is sometimes nice when you're training.
Yeah. You can holler and scream, and even though we don't do that, we could now.
We could if we wanted to.
We could if we wanted to now.
Plus, it's like, I don't know, 2 blocks away from my house.
Yeah, it's not 2 blocks away from my house.
Right. It's a little further for you.
So the whole purpose of this, well, first of all, we wanted to give you guys like an update of what's going on with us. So, hey, how's it going? But also, there's going to be so many times in life where you can either choose what happens to you or let stuff happen to you. And that's on a day-by-day basis. You can let traffic upset you, or you can be proactive and download a podcast like ours to listen to on the way.
Heck yeah.
Get something off your mind. Like, you don't have to put yourself in a reactive situation that's going to negatively affect you in the long term. So because we've decided that this is our solution and we've taken steps before we got kicked out, although I don't know if it would have led to that. Maybe we would have just felt uncomfortable for a while. But before we felt too uncomfortable to lift there, we found a solution that benefits the gym's members.
Yep.
And still benefits us.
Benefits us.
We can still come in and do anything we need to do there.
Right.
So in life, outside of the gym, you're going to have these situations, whether you're fighting with your significant other or whatever. It's better to be proactive than reactive.
Definitely.
For the most part. Maybe there's like one time out of 100, but whatever.
Right. Being proactive in this situation was the best. So if you guys are ever in South Carolina, look us up and come lift with us. Although we can't have too many of you at one time. We just take turns because we're bare bones.
Sharing is caring. Okay, guys. Again, if you aren't following us on Instagram, it's Empowered by Iron. Kristen is Kristen Lander. I recently changed my name. I went through a little bit of an identity crisis, but I think I'm going to stick with this Instagram name. It's called As Told by Mary. I don't know if you were around for I think it was a Nickelodeon show called As Told by Ginger.
Really? That's funny.
It was a TV show called As Told by Ginger, but I stole it and made it As Told by Mary. So you can follow us there. Check us out at empoweredbyiron.com. We have our blog post. We just posted one recently about basically about learning how to live in moderation in a world of excess, especially when it comes to diet. Yeah. So check that out. That's something I put out. And then, tune in next week.
Yeah. And if you guys have a story about how being proactive as opposed to reactive has been a big stepping point in your life, like, shoot us a message. We love to hear this stuff.
Hell yeah. So we'll see you guys or talk to you guys next week.
Peace out.
Bye.
Lifting is life. But it's not.